Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into a really dramatic story from ancient history. It's a tale where a totally routine renovation uncovers a lost book, and that book sparks a national crisis and a terrifying prophecy that ends up sealing a kingdom's fate.
So, let's just kick things off with this question. What if a forgotten document, a book that's been hidden away for generations, could suddenly reappear and completely change the destiny of a nation? Because, well, that's exactly what we're talking about today.
It all started with something that sounds, honestly, pretty mundane. A king ordering some simple repairs on his kingdom's main temple.
First up, let's meet our central character, Josiah. And the first thing you need to know about him is pretty wild. He became the king of Judah when he was just 8 years old. I mean, think about that for a second. Running a whole country before you've even hit double digits. But here's the thing. Despite that incredibly young start, Josiah actually grew into a remarkable leader. The source text tells us he was laser-focused, always doing what was right and not turning aside to the right or to the left. So this tells you he was a man of real conviction, of serious principle. Okay, so let's fast forward a bit. Josiah is now an established adult king, and it's the 18th year of his rule. He takes a look at the main temple in Jerusalem, the absolute center of religious life for his kingdom, and he decides, yep, it's time for some much-needed repairs.
And check out how this whole project was run. Josiah's orders were built completely on trust. He basically told his team to just give the money straight to the supervisors, no need for complicated accounting or anything, because he believed the workers were honest people. It all just seemed like a standard, well-organized renovation, or so everyone thought.
And this, right here, is where the story takes a massive turn. That completely routine task was about to uncover something that would shake the entire kingdom to its very foundations.
So just try to picture the scene. You've got carpenters, builders, masons, all hard at work. It's dusty, it's noisy, the normal sounds of a construction site. They're just moving stones, replacing old beams, and restoring this ancient temple.
And then, somewhere in all that mess, tucked away and forgotten for who knows how long, someone finds something. It's not gold. It's not jewels. It's something far more valuable and, as it turns out, far more dangerous.
The high priest, a man named Hilkiah, realizes exactly what it is. He rushes to the king's secretary with this just mind-blowing announcement. I have found the book of the law. Now, this wasn't just any old scroll. This was their nation's foundational legal and spiritual text, and it had been lost for generations.
Now, you'd probably expect this discovery to be a huge celebration, right? But it wasn't. Not at all. Instead, the words inside that book provoked an immediate and severe crisis, starting right at the very top with the king himself. The secretary takes this ancient scroll directly to King Josiah, and there, probably in the quiet of the royal court, he unrolls it and starts to read the long-forgotten words aloud to the king. And as Josiah sat there and listened, the real meaning of those words began to sink in. All the rules, the warnings, and especially the curses for disobedience that his people had been ignoring for decades.
His reaction was violent, and it was immediate. He tore his robes. Now, this was a public and incredibly powerful symbol of extreme grief, of horror, and of national distress. He wasn't just sad, he was absolutely terrified.
So why the terror? Well, Josiah explains it himself. As he's listening, he has this horrifying realization that his ancestors, his entire nation, have been violating the most sacred laws of their God for generations. He believes that the nation is now facing imminent divine anger for everything they've done wrong.
Now, desperate for some kind of clarity, Josiah doesn't just fall apart. He takes action. He has to know what this discovery means for the future of Judah, so he decides to seek out an even higher authority.
He sends his highest officials, we're talking his priest, his secretary, his closest attendant, to go speak with a prophet named Huldah. And their mission is simple. Go find out from the Lord what in the world is going on, and what the words in this book really mean for them.
Huldah comes back with a two-part prophecy that is just full of stark contrast. For the nation of Judah, the news is grim. Disaster is coming. She says their past sins are just too great, and God's anger will not be quenched. But for King Josiah personally, the message is different. Because his heart was responsive, because he humbled himself, he's granted a personal reprieve. He will be gathered to his ancestors in peace, and he won't have to see the disaster that's coming.
So this one discovery didn't just illuminate their past, it completely sealed their future. This single moment defined both a national destiny and a very personal one. So here's the final verdict, the bottom line. For the nation, the path was set for disaster. It was just too late to turn back. But for the king, his immediate heartfelt repentance earned him mercy, a personal pass from having to witness the fall. And all of this happened because, for generations, the people had simply forsaken their core beliefs.
And that really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? This ancient story brings up a timeless question that applies far beyond old texts and kings. How does confronting a forgotten past, whether it's a piece of history, a cultural truth, or even a personal memory, redefine the path we are on? Because what we choose to do with that discovery, well, that can change everything.